Hey, how are you? Welcome. Good to see you again. I'm sitting in bed writing, and I just lost my pen. And you know how, you don't even move nowhere. How the pen get lost? But anyway, hey, y'all. Welcome. Let's talk about grants for your Black woman owned for a profit small business. Make sure you come join us live on the TikTok channel here on Black Women in Grants, where we are breaking down grant strategies, getting news frequently about people winning grants in our crew over at blackwomeningrants.com. I'm so excited about that. I'm just calming down off of celebrating with one of our mentees that's in our Grant Game mentorship program who just won her very first $10,000 grant and told me just out the blue. And it was a lot of fun. My heart is happy. I'm so happy for her. I can't wait to go through that process with her. That's something that I wanted to share here on the chat today. We'll let her announce when she's ready who she is and which grant she won and what she won for and what she's going to do with her money. I'm coming up with a series of questions to interview her on soon, so I can't wait to share that with you guys. But we do have a new grant winner in our midst. I'm so excited. Okay, so I know that a lot of people want to know kind of what happens after you win the grant, which is the process that comes after you get your, what I call your congratulations email. If you guys have ever won a grant, you know which email that is that they're announcing. That's part of their time frame and their process. So if you've ever wondered about the time frame of a grant, this is a part of that time frame. So I've done a live before and answered this question multiple times on all of the lives we've done over the last year, which is almost at 200. I can't believe it. We got the replay playlist that we share all our episodes with our mentees over at blackwomeningrants.com. And in one of the recent lives, we talked about the 90-day time frame of a grant, going from the time you apply for a grant, the time the application process closes, and then the time that comes after they deliberate, they literally judge and grade your grant answers. And then they make you wait to see who they select. And that's the exciting part. And so when you get that congratulations email and you find out that you're one of the winners, like OMG, OMG, OMG. So that is a vital time as well, because you have to make sure that you're, number one, reading the not the application, but the congratulations email, and you're following step by step what they tell you to do. And it usually starts out with the important paperwork like taxes. Did you know you have to fill out a tax form for grants? Yes, it's called a W-9 in most cases. They'll send you a copy because they more than likely will report whatever your grant amount was to the IRS that they gifted you that money, because they did. And so they're covering their end and giving you the copy of something to share with your accountant and the person who does your taxes to see if you need to file taxes on that money as well. So when it comes to taxes and grants, it all depends on how you use the money, what the grant was for, etc. So it is important to have a conversation with the person who does your business taxes. If you don't have a person, find a person. Because one thing you don't want to do is have to play the guessing game as to why you owe or why you can't get access to some of your information on your tax stuff for your business. You want to file the right paperwork. So it starts with the paperwork journey. You may have an agreement, an affidavit, a contract, if you will, that's kind of reassuring you that they're going to promise to deliver whatever they promised you that you would win in the grant. And so it sets your expectations for what is coming next. Now that the important tax paperwork is out of the way, now let's talk about the prizes, the checks in the mail, or if you got bonus gifts or physical products, where they can send it, what's going to be in that packet. So I know about a year or so ago when I won a contest, a small business contest for home office decor from Office Depot, Office Max, they sent me a affidavit which broke down, here's what to expect in your package, all the way down to like 40 tool ink pens. And if y'all know, that's about a $50 purchase right there if you go in an office supply store. They told me about the desk and the chair and the filing cabinet and the highlighters and the journals and the sticky notes and all the fun stuff that would be included in this prize, so that when I got the full package delivered whether it came the same day or in multiple deliveries, I could literally have the affidavit to check off what was in the packet. And in my case, in that particular grant, that was very, very helpful because I noticed that my packet was missing some stuff. So I was able to take the affidavit, resend it to my point of contact, the person who sent the affidavit over, to say, here's what's going to be in your packet. Told her what was missing, and they sent me a new packet with even better stuff. So I got 2 deliveries, but that affidavit saved things. So it's great that you have that agreement where both of you are mutually understanding. I'm expecting to get this as the winner of this grant. It's really, really exciting. And so when you can check off your form saying I got everything, it was delivered. In my case, it was valued at like $900, and plus, it was 2 deliveries, so it was even more than that in the end to make up for the difference. So it's a lot of fun. So between having your congratulations emails and your paperworks and even a copy of your application is really, really important to me. Because once I won my first grant, I was like, wait a minute. That means I said something real good. They made these people write me a check. Let me keep these answers and just work on them and make them better for next time and build off of that. Because what they say, when you find something that works, you keep working it until it works even better. I threw that last part on there, but still. Keep a copy of your grant answers. So if you're out filling out grant applications, and if you're like me, I get really excited when I see my answers. I'm like, oh, that was good. Let me copy and paste that into a Word document and save that. So if you're applying for grants, you're not saving your answers, you should be. At this point, I've applied to over $500,000 in grants. So I have a literal book of all of my grant answers that were really, really good, that have won me money. Even if I didn't get the grant yet, I got those answers, because it's not guaranteed that they're going to send you a copy of your application. So as you're applying, you want to remember before you hit submit to copy and paste your answers in one place, but especially on a winning grant application. You want to keep that. It's like you want to frame it like, these are the words that got me my first grant or my latest grant. Let me go see how to build on that and make it better. And then finally, when you get that check, a lot of people get excited. They're ready to go cash it. They want to spend that money. I always stop my mentees and say, hey, did you make a copy of the check, a literal copy of the check, so that you can put it in a picture frame and put it on your wall like me? Like I'm looking at 3 checks right now. Either you get a copy of the check or get a copy of the check stub. I prefer the check because it has your name, your business name, how much the check was, who it's from, when you won it. It's just legit. It's official. So take a picture of it, get a copy of it, but keep it. So your application or your application answers, a copy of your congratulatory email, and a copy of the check. Those are your 3 prizes from your big grant win. But also, as I mentioned, going through the answers and seeing what won you this money is very, very helpful, because your job applying for grants means that you're expecting certain outcomes, certain results. You have certain expectations. So real quick in the chat, tell me why you want to win a grant. Put it in the chat really quick. I know it's a few of you guys here. If anyone wants to share why they want a grant, need a grant, would want to win a grant, just put it in the chat really quick. And I'm going to show you kind of what to expect as you're applying for these grant opportunities, that you want to start expecting yourself to win, throwing your name in the hat, putting your applications out there, and being consistent with it, because that's what it's about. Consistency is key. So usually what comes up on these lives is people asking, what are the odds of you winning? And I always say you have 1,000% chance of not winning the grant that you never apply for. So that means your odds increase the more you apply, right? So with our mentees over at blackwomeningrants.com, we have what we call a fund finding formula. And it's where you apply. Even after you win, go apply, because now you got to replace this one with another one you want to win, right? So for every 10 applications you put out there, you can expect to win 1 in 10 when you use our funding formula. But the more you apply, the higher your chances. For example, we have people who are winning and they're well over their 10% win rate now because they consistently apply, they're consistently implementing what they're learning in the mentorship, and they're seeing the results. So is it Malama? I hope I'm pronouncing that right. She says she wants to win a grant to assist people with health insurance. Got it. That's needed. Very helpful. So you're right on track with what we call, like, there's a secret ingredient to what you should be putting on these small business grant applications when they ask, why do you want to win a grant? Why should we give it to you? What will this grant help you do? What will these funds help you to accomplish in your business? And that's your social impact. And so think of social impact like this. How can you take some of this grant money? They know that you're going to, benefit from some of it individually in your business because you're the owner. But also, if you share with them how you can take a portion of your winnings and improve your community, meaning help to make a positive change in your community, how would you do that? And so, have y'all thought of that before? If not, think of it really quick. How could you take maybe 5%, 10% of a grant you win and help your community, and you put it to use? Hello, Kim Ancestry. How are you? I was bragging on you the other day for improving your video, girl. I'm so proud of you. We did a live about the difference between commercial videos and video essays. You see the difference now, huh? So she says your program and resources has really given me the confidence I need to apply. I'm so glad to hear that. I want you to meet Ashley Rankin. I don't know if she'll be able to join us, but you'll definitely meet her coming up, because she went from not wanting to apply for grants that required videos to now having just the best videos. And so I can't wait for her to share her journey of improving that confidence. You didn't have that problem of confidence at all on camera. Like, you were a natural, you were calm. You just had to change the direction of your answers, but you can feel it in the 2 types of videos that you submitted in the mentorship program. So thank you for sharing that, because I love watching y'all's journey and how you develop and putting the template into place. It's so easy. And the fact that it's like right there in the Finding Funding ebook, right? You just literally copy paste the template, say what I tell you to say, but not scripting it, but just following my lead. And it works. So I can't wait to hear how you're using your video to win grants. That grant funded opportunities is so exciting. So what I love about grants is that they do give you the opportunity to not only serve your customers and clients in your business, whether you are starting a business or you're about to start a business. Some of the funds is designed like they're allocated or earmarked or set aside for certain portions of your business, but they love when you include your community. So as I mentioned, if you have a portion that you can say, hey, I'm going to take 5% or 10% of these funds and help improve my community impact by making a positive change. Think of areas like health, how you can help the community improve health-wise. Think of education. I know we talked about one of the things that you can apply for grants for is hiring staff. We did a live on this last week. And if you're looking for grants to bring more people on your team, increase your payroll, maybe you want to start paying yourself more or at all. Maybe you want to transition from not getting paid to part-time or part-time to full-time, and you want to bring on like an unpaid intern. You can pay them in the form of gift cards for gas and food and tuition. I bought books. I have contributed, let me fill your stomach, let me fill your gas tank, just to say thank you. That's a part of bringing on staff, and that money has to come from somewhere, even for gift cards or, sowing seeds into them, just to say thank you for working, even if it's an unpaid position. That's a part of social impact. If you can tell a grant, hey, I partner, and this is me speaking from my experience, I'm partnering with 2 universities in my state, 3 now, and one is actually in California now that I think of it, but one is virtual. And so when they put out a call for, hey, our students are looking for work, they're going to partner them with a business that needs help. And then, like I said, even if it's an unpaid position, you can say, here's what to expect throughout the program or at the end, full tank of gas, full, maybe you fill up their fridge. Maybe because if it's a summer program, it's helpful. If it's throughout the year, it's helpful. But yeah, food, gas, books, maybe you're paying an application fee or some type of admission fee that they can't afford. It's ways to add that to your grant application, if you will. Think creatively, get outside the box, and use that as your social impact, because that's in the area of education. So you got things like health, education, your environment, I remember when I first moved into a neighborhood I was in for 10 years. When I would go for walks around the block, there was a certain part of the neighborhood. It was a nice neighborhood, only 30 houses. They were new builds, but for some reason, people that rode through the neighborhood would throw out trash on just one side of the road, on one side of the neighborhood. It was nowhere else. And so when I started walking the neighborhood, I would walk with a small Walmart bag and I would pick up trash. So here I am getting like the full cardio experience, right? But also helping keep my neighborhood clean. That's what I think of when I think of environment. Not that I need a grant to go do that, but if they asked what type of social impact I've been a part of already, well, I'm literally helping keep my neighborhood clean. Nobody asked me to do it. Nobody paid me to do it. I don't need a grant to do it. But if you're asking me what I'm doing without being asked or, provoked or whatever, well, the trash provoked me, but still, this is something that you can add to your grant resume, if you will. And then economic development is a big one, as well as equality. I know that's what we stand for here with Black Women in Grants, really helping Black women get into the funding conversation about what type of debt-free, non-traditional funding is available for their Black woman-owned for-profit small business. Because a lot of people think that you have to be nonprofit to win grants, but you don't. And so that's the economic development part. Let's talk about money that's not necessarily yours, but you can go out and win it, apply it to your business, grow more, and then reach back, leave a legacy, reach back, help someone else, bring them along, add them to the conversation. And it's, again, centered around financial literacy and doing good in the community as well. Plus, equality with people who are getting the funding where we're not in some cases, and how we have to get creative and work around loopholes and create opportunities for ourselves, even within the grant community. And so we'll talk more about that coming up on a future live about how you can take grant wins and grants that you haven't won yet and still make it a learning opportunity, a lesson learned, still make money off of that opportunity. It's very possible. I have a strategy that I share in our mentorship, and it's breaking down what the funding cycle looks like in your own terms. You're setting the pace. You're narrating that story. You're calling the shot. You're not waiting on someone to write you a check or choose you, as my coach would say. He's always says, you don't have to audition for anybody. And he's right. You can create your own opportunities even as you're applying for these grants. So it's so much to expect when you are applying for the opportunities, but also running a business and incorporating your community in order to help them in the areas of health and education and environment and economic development and equality. And then when it comes to winning grants, there's always great results to expect. So if you're not applying for grants yet, I encourage you to, because they can really help you to upgrade where you currently are. Like my favorite types of wins, whether it's a check or, like I said, gifts in the mail with the affidavits and you can check off the list. When a grant is specifically designed for you to help upgrade your business, those are the greatest type of grants. Like if you are like me and will work a computer to death until you have to drop it to get it to turn on, and then here comes a grant to save the day that replaces your computer. Nothing like upgraded technology, new phones, tablets, desktops, laptops. There are grants that incorporate those types of upgrades, from technology to, as I mentioned, the desk, the chair, the filing cabinet, etc. You just have to factor that in. So your homework, if you will, is for you to think through what needs upgrading in your business, because that's where you need to start with what you're asking for in your grants. And if you want to get a head start for extra credit, just put it in the chat real quick. Like, oh, I could use the new blank. Throw that in the chat. What could a grant help you upgrade? Like something physical, anything that you can think of. Let's see how large you're able to dream real quick. Throw it in the chat. What you want to see a grant help you upgrade. You can start with technology. You can start with the basics. If you're starting from scratch and need just a set of pens or paper or notebook, you can do that. And so what that does is when you put that in your grant application, hey, I need help improving, upgrading my current work environment. You can say, I need help improving my overall business product or service, whatever you produce. And at the end of the day, and I've heard a coach say this before, she's a multimillionaire, And she talks about how when we get new stuff, like for women, when we go get our hair done, our nails done, our feet done, our eyebrows done, a massage, a facial, we just unstoppable. We can go sell and make money, and it changes the dynamic of our day, our week, and ultimately our bottom line in our business, right? Because we're in another place. So imagine you winning this grant is helping you to improve your work environment, improve your current product or service in your business. Now you're selling more. You're happier to work at that desk. You're happier to send that email from that new computer. You're happy to take sales calls on your brand new phone. You want to do all the things with the new technology or whatever you've used to make your environment better, right? So it not only helps you sell more, it's going to help you sell better and ultimately make more money in your business. That's a great reason to start applying for grants, just to upgrade yourself, okay? So, okay. Laptop, yep. Michelle said, let me just put it out there. I can use the MacBook. Full sentence. Understood. Brown says purchase company vehicle. Yep. Someone mentioned that earlier. I think it was Carolyn said she wants a vehicle to get wrapped with her company information, and that's part of her marketing plan. So why not? If someone is willing, and there's a grant out there that is giving away cars. More than one, actually. There's one for a van, there's one for a car. And the car one I know comes yearly. I'm not sure about the van one. But if that's a part of your vision and you can see it, and getting the car is half the battle, why not? Why not put it on there? Upgrade yourself. Because yes, ain't nothing like reliable, dependable transportation, especially in the name of doing business, making money, leaving a legacy, helping the community, making money, etc. So, number 2, when you start applying for grant, you can expect the result of also being able to strengthen where you are financially. So if you're in a place where you're like, I wish we weren't in a deficit. I wish we were in the black, hence the term Black Friday, when everybody used to go out and buy and help the corporations recoup whatever they may not have made for the year. They go from red to black. So if you're in that place where you need to come up and start stacking your coins in your business bank account, grants are great ways to strengthen that financial stability. You don't want to depend on them for regular income, if you will, and they'll tell you this is a one-time win. You're going to win this one time. Make this stretch. Make it work, right? And so even included in that financial stability portion, maybe you don't want the money just to sit in a bank account. Maybe you want to hire new staff so that you can lessen your workload and go out and find other ways to make money in your business. Maybe you, as I mentioned earlier, want to bring yourself onto the payroll and increase your pay, or go from not getting paid to part-time, or maybe part-time to full-time, or maybe adding benefits to yourself or your staff. But if your vision is to expand your team, and give opportunities to give back to people who are looking for employment. Like we talked about, the interns, whether they're paid or unpaid. You got freelancers, contracts, project designers, you can build your team, girl. And that goal is to help you make money. But that's a great reason to apply for a grant and explain the vision behind why you want these funds to do just that. So, hold on, let me turn my screen up because it's getting darker, and so it's my screen. There we go. Okay, let me read y'all's comments. Said, I really need a physical location. I'm working out of my home right now. I think a lot of us are. I've seen people build sheds for extra space. You can add that into the funds, especially if you're like me, got a big backyard and like, what do I put out here exactly? I've seen people get storage units to add as additional space. I've seen people hire co-work spaces for office space, etc. So it just depends on exactly what you need, and then being able to explain to a grant what having extra space will allow you to do, especially if you're looking for something that's readily available versus I got to go find a plot of land, get some builders, get the plumbing, and literally starting from the ground up. You can add that into a grant if that's part of your plans. But if you're looking for something like, let me just go to Home Depot, purchase a shed, put it in the backyard, add my inventory, boom, extra space, working from home, cutting costs, cutting my carbon footprint, etc. Those are all easily, you can work with that and write it into your grant applications, the essays, etc. We don't really bid on grants, Malama, but we apply to grants. And so, yes, the key is for those in my mentorship program over at blackwomeningrants.com, we do at least 10 grants. And that increases the chances of you winning one at least in 10. So, that's like put it on your calendar. Go out and apply, stay consistent, even as you win. So we have a couple people who've recently won, and I know that we call it the high of the apply. So you get like this rush when you submit the application. Imagine the rush you feel when you win. And so I give them time because I know how it is. You get the congratulations email like we talked about at the beginning of this live. And it's like, you've won $1,000,000. You feel like it's $1,000,000. And you got to go through that. Just like with any good news, you go through it, you ride the high for a little bit, you get the money, you start spending the money, you see the money dwindle, the reality kicks in like, I got to go do this again. Don't wait until you're down to your last literal penny to start replacing that grant application. Stay on that high. Go repeat the process that got you here and keep applying. So that way you always have at least those 10 applications out there at any given time. And imagine getting multiple emails saying, congratulations, you've won more than one grant. Yes, you can win more than one grant at a time, but that means you got to apply to more than one grant at a time. So it's a beautiful ecosystem that feeds itself and feeds off of the work that you put into it, and it's doable. One of our mentees, Tina, just sent me a copy of a recent application she did. It was only 5 questions on the whole application. It was very, very cool. Straight to the point, straightforward. And she got her application in, and I love it. And so that meant that she had more time to go apply for more. Why not? There's money out there to get got, right? So that's what I teach in our funding formula in the mentorship. And if you're doing it right, it's not just about applying for 10 grants, because you can put out 10 bad applications and win 0. If you're trying to figure it out yourself and wondering if you did it right and did you answer the question right, and you got to have the missing parts. You got to have the secret sauce. You got to have the 3 parts that go into every single grant application, every single video essay. You got to know what to expect. Other than that, it's just kind of like, I call it spray and pray, where you just like fill out these applications, submit them, and now you're wondering why you didn't win them. So I don't guarantee anyone to win anything. Okay, especially if you're trying to do this yourself, you've never won, you're trying to figure it out, you're trying to piece together free information. I don't condone any of that. I had to do it that way, but I've learned the secrets, and now I share the secrets in my mentorship over at blackwomeningrants.com to save a lot of people a lot of time. So instead of it taking years to win money, you can be like many of the ladies and win it in just a few months. I mean, 5,000, 10,000. The person who has won the most grants in our crew is Deanna Joy. She's won over $76,000, and I interviewed her in a Zoom call. I was off screen because I didn't want her reading my facial expressions and smiling all hard, but I really picked her brain to see what she did, what kept her consistent, and she literally said, I read your book, because we got a book called Finding Funding, and it goes through our 25 steps that I've used to win grants. I've won over $63,550 in grants and grant-funded opportunities. And she's like, I'm literally just following your footsteps, doing what you told me to do. And so she's one of our mentees, and I'm like, well, what do you think other people should do to start winning? What do you think you did to stand out? How can they be more like you? Because she's literally just adding to the winning pie. Her pie will only get bigger. She just applied for her first $1 million grant, and she just won funding to help one of her clients upgrade their technology. So when I say this works, y'all, when you factor it in as the reasons that you're applying for grants and the results to expect, it works. Malama says this is good information. Thank you. Kim Nash said I need all that, right? I'm an insurance broker. Many people are without insurance. Got it. So what do you need a grant for? Like, let's stay on the side. Because, see, your answer, Malama, is what goes on a grant application. And then you would throw some statistics behind it. You would throw behind it which people that you're talking about. Not just many people. Maybe it's many people in the Black community in the low income sector. And then you can start to break it down to a grant. And that way it makes money in the end of whether or not you get paid for what you're trying to do. So if you got questions about winning grants, finding grants, answering the questions about grants, what to expect after you win a grant, what to do as you go into applying, all that, girl. You said, what do I think about crowdfunding? I don't think about it at all, because I say leave mama and them alone. And that's why God made grants. That's what I say. But you can do what you want to. And this is coming from Miss Khan, who funded one of the biggest women's funding sources. She's behind I Fund Women. I listened to an interview with her, and we on the same page. She really helped open my eyes. But she did a fireside chat in a program that I want a scholarship to go through, that I give y'all that link to that same scholarship too. So if y'all want to go win it, I know Ashley Rankin just won a scholarship last week to that same program, but within it they do fireside chats with big founders and CEOs of companies for women, etc. And that's what she was saying about the crowdfunding thing. Like, most people don't have the network to raise the right funds, so why set yourself up for that? Versus there is guaranteed funding in grants. There's guaranteed funding in pitching your business for funding that's already there. Like, they got the check ready to write. Why would you mess with mom and them and then get an attitude when your best friend, who you just knew was your ride or die, would support you and tell everybody she knew, and she don't come through? Now y'all beefing. See? So save yourself the trouble. That's how me and Miss Khan, that's how we look at crowdfunding. So I don't talk about it. I can educate you on it, but we on the side for profit grants. The guaranteed, the money is there. I've seen it. I've received it. We're receiving it. We're winning it. What's crowdfunding again? Why waste that time? And one of the biggest crowdfunding stories of the internet, I can't think of her. I think her name is Sanai. The young lady that tried to help the homeless guy, and they raised like almost $500,000. And because of his history, they blocked the money, so he don't get it, she don't get it, nobody gets it. They wouldn't even give it refunds at one point. Child, why? That's how I look at it. But anyway, hopefully that helps. She says good information. Thank you. What other questions do you guys have? You said live pitches make you nervous, girl. I need the same thing. Malama, my book is in our mentorship program over at blackwomeningrants.com. There is a scholarship that will let you in the program for only $97. Today, our program price officially increased to $1,000. We just had our fifth lady win a $10,000 grant today. And so our price went up. Yesterday's price is not today's price. Or today's price is not yesterday's. What Beyonce say? Something like that. So it's $1,000 regular. It's a $997 program. Worth it. It's really worth $5,000, but regular price is $1,000. However, we have a scholarship fund. You can get in for only $97 for a full year to come hang out with us, learn about grants, work it into your regular routine of applying with confidence, learning these lessons, making your application better and stronger. Keep applying, start winning, and repeat the process. So that's over at blackwomeningrants.com. That's where the Finding Funding ebook is. That's where the interview with the $76,000 grant winner is. That's where we have done events and trainings and boot camps and workshops and master classes and webinars, and all the replays are there. You can go in and listen, take notes, apply the information like the ladies who are winning grants are doing. Collectively, we've won over $178,000 as of today. I'm so excited. Using this information that I share over at blackwomeningrants.com. We have 2 scholarships that are open. It's first come, first serve. That means you don't pay the $997, you only pay $97. It's for a full year. It's one-time payment, year-long access. First come, first serve. They always get got. I'm thankful to God to say that because I get to help more people. And we have Klarna and Afterpay if you need it for the $97, okay? So www.blackwomeningrants.com, blackwomeningrants.com, 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 blackwomeningrants.com. That's our logo. So hopefully that helps. That's where to find the book. That's where to join the program, get some mentorship, and then I'm here with you guys 3 times a week answering your questions about grants. Live, it's me. I ain't on camera, but I'm here. So that's the beauty of it. Getting some mentorship around that. Plus all of our TikTok replays are there too. We're almost at episode 200 because I've been here with you guys for a whole year talking about grants. So no stone left unturned. We've talked about everything, and I'm happy to repeat what we've learned as well. So I hope that helps. Kim Ancestry says, go get it. It's worth it. She's reaping the benefits of being one of our mentees. Michelle says, what do you think is the best place to find grants? Online, do a quick search for small business grants. You said that it's not so overcrowded and such as Hello Alice. Hello Alice is not a grant, it's a grant application platform. So a lot of people expect to win grants from Hello Alice, and they don't offer grants. So you don't win their grants, but they do partner. They may begin the cut of that grant, but they're not a grant. They're just a grant housing service. Just like when you go apply for a job, you might do it on Indeed. Indeed don't hire you, but the job that paid Indeed to host that job application, they do. And so it's not even about worrying about grants being overcrowded. It's about having a strong application to where you don't care how many people apply. For example, the last grant I was selected for to go to round 2 for a $50,000 opportunity, my one application was selected out of 500. So I never worry about quote unquote overcrowded, because when you think about it, you're one of millions of business owners who need funding. But how many of those business owners that are applying for this funding has really sat and worked on their grant application strategy to go in and win with confidence? That's how you get selected out of 500. That's just one opportunity for me. Another one that I won, I was selected out of 400 applications. One of our mentees, Neek, she was selected out of 5,200 applications. So we don't worry about being overcrowded. We don't worry about trying to find the loophole per se. We just go in with strong applications. That's how we do it. So when you think about grants, think about having a strategy, thinking about why you want to win. And we've talked about reasons to even go apply. So just knowing why you want to apply, how much you need, why you want to win, what you're going to do with the money, and being able to tell that in a really good story that moves grant check writers to move that pen on that check and fill in your business name and your name. That's that strategy. And most people don't have that. That's why most people will never win a grant. Because a lot of people are not willing to invest in even learning what it takes to win. So I'm here to help clear the air, to help you strengthen your application, make it better, make it gooder, make it righter, if you will. So blackwomeningrants.com is where to come join us on one of the 2 scholarship spots. Kim and I was going at things blind, and this program gave me so much information. And you caught on really quick, too, which is what I love. Because you sent this. I was like, what's she doing up at 11 o'clock? What am I doing up at 11? I'd be up, though. I think I was up, like, cleaning the kitchen that night. So you caught me at a good time. I had a nap, had that second wind, had to burn that energy off. So I was unloading the dishwasher and putting away dishes and got your email. And you did really well with implementing the information, which is what I love. Because it's one thing to buy into the information. We have 278 people in our mentorship. It's very few that I hear back from who are actually doing the work. Because it's one thing to get the information and sit on it and do nothing with it, but it's another to apply that thing and start to see the results. So I look forward to hearing from more and more and more and more of our mentees who are winning these grants and grant funded opportunities, no matter what you need a grant for in your business. As long as you go in it with clarity, knowing why you're applying, what you're winning, what the expectations are of you and of the grantee, grantor, etc. Yeah. Oh, she said, I never thought my trauma would serve me. Girl, your trauma can pay you, honey. I have a multi-6-figure business thanks to trauma that I'm still healing from. But pay me too. Pay me as I heal, you know? Tell that story, girl. That was my promise to God. I will tell my story as long as I don't get in front of people and cry. And then my coach, who made me cry, and tell him my full story. Say, okay, now take this part, put it in a presentation. Here's how to make your business even better with it. And here we are, multiple 6 figures later, still telling that story, girl, still getting paid. So yes, your trauma can help pay you. I mean, it happens. You can't change nothing about it. All you can do is heal as you cash them checks. That's how I look at it. God is good. Won't he do it? Minus, well, she says you're a great teacher. Thank you, girl. Yes, the information is easy to follow. And some people have read the book multiple times. And so they go back and read it again, which I love, because it's like, did I miss anything the first time? Let me make sure I caught everything, especially because we have the links to my video examples of me winning small business pitch competitions and me sharing with you guys my documentary that I filmed a couple years ago with the film coach who was paid $10,000. I won her filmmaking contest, so she showed me how to shoot a business documentary using just my cell phone, and I've won awards. I've been acknowledged on the red carpet here in Atlanta with Tyler Perry's people. Our movie trailer poster hangs in the same office that mega movies that come to our city to film have to go through. So to see like the dynamics of applying for these opportunities that are out there when you're clear on exactly what you need help with, what type of funding you need. The path has already been paid. You don't have to sit and try to figure it out. You don't have to keep trying to apply for stuff out of frustration, like, won't somebody just give me money? And I'm speaking from experience, girl, because when I first started applying to all these grants, child, I had an attitude. I was getting on my own nerves, mad. Reaching out to my business colleague who got me into grants, like, I don't like this, and why I gotta do this, and why. And another grant colleague said, why don't you just put that same passion into your applications? And 6 figures in funding later, here we are. And I was like, she was right. Let me use this energy for good. So you got the passion behind what you do. You got the trauma and the pain from what you've been through. You still going through stuff trying to grow a business. Why not go tell that story and get some money? I saw somebody's post on Facebook earlier today saying, when you start making that money, receiving funding, whether it's from your clients or whatever, in our case, grants, it changes your attitude. You in a better mood. You got more energy. You want to repeat the process. Like, okay, let's do it again. When you just had an attitude and needed a nap and something to eat because you was hangry. So when you look at it like that, it changes the dynamics of even how our brain works. And it's motivation to keep applying, keep trying. Yes, accept and expect the quote unquote rejection. But now take that, break it down and see the lessons in it. Now take that and use it to build, strengthen your application. Go apply again. Start making money as you're applying it, as you're waiting. That's all coming up in future lives. Don't worry about that. We'll talk about that later. What questions can I answer for you guys? Yeah, depression sometimes is part of the process, child. I just go on Amazon and order something. Like right now, I got a delivery at my door. So I always keep it in the budget to do something that makes me happy. I'm vegan. So if that means me traveling an hour to a new vegan restaurant here in Atlanta, because Atlanta is an hour away from Atlanta. I live in Atlanta, and Atlanta is an hour away from Atlanta. I'm going to get in my car, or one of the two that I have, praise the Lord, and I'm going to drive. And I'm going to go eat good. I'm going to feel better, fill my belly. While I'm there, I'm probably on live talking to y'all. And I'm going to come home and apply for some more grants. Let's start this over. Sometimes you just need a reset. You can't let that take over because time is passing. Deadlines are still closing, even though you sit there, quote unquote, depressed. Sometimes it's part of the process. Sometimes people learn to be a functional depressed person. I've heard of that. Just like functional alcoholic. You can still get up out your bed, take a shower, eat, find a grant, apply, go take a nap, get back in the bed, scroll TikTok some more. You deserve it. Because it's not all roses. It's not all easy. But child, I guarantee you can be all the depressed you want. And again, I'm speaking from experience. But when you get that congratulations, your hard work that one day you chose to get out of the bed instead of take another nap, it paid off. Here's your $10,000 check. Here's your $25,000 check. Here's your $50,000 check to go do whatever you said you needed in your business. Feel better? That's what I'm talking about. So, rejection is a part of the process. Being emotionally wrapped up, tied up, tangled up is a part of the process. It's not easy. It doesn't get any easier. But when you have a clear plan that you're working, I don't know about y'all, but I'm a numbers person. So if you tell me 90 days to win my first grant, we on day number 89 starting tomorrow. Because I'm going to do something today to work toward that goal. As long as I know I'm working towards something and I expect the types of results that we talked about, where I'm looking forward to that unboxing and doing an unboxing video of my new Mac computer sitting on my desk. I'm looking forward to signing the delivery from the UPS truck that I got a new desk to put the MacBook on. Come on, somebody. I'm looking forward to putting that check in my business bank account and writing somebody a check because I'm finna hire some new staff. I'm finna put myself on payroll. We all about to get benefits. I'm about to expand my team. I'm about to give back to an intern in college, a graduate student. I'm about to take the win that I didn't know I was going to get, but I kept applying and expand the efforts that I've already put out there to reach more people. Tell them about my business. And then as a bonus, y'all want to hear a bonus? Put bonus real quick because this is one of the things that I realize comes with applying for grants, whether you win them now or in the future. There's a bonus to applying for grants. In addition to helping your community, helping to improve your community impact, getting the congratulations email, keeping your copies of your great grant answers, keeping a copy of the grant check. There's bonuses like you now are introduced to a new network. What I mean by that is some of these grants come with you joining their network of coaches, of trainers, of mentors, of accountability partners. You have a whole new support network. So while you're feeling down or blue, or in my case, I'd be like, I've been going all day and I ain't talked to nobody but the voice in my head. We've been getting this business in. So you can hop on a call. You can hop on a platform like WhatsApp or Facebook groups or Mighty Networks or the platforms that the grants already have built in. And there's a whole couple thousand people in these networks ready to have a conversation with you about what it's like to run your business, to be a Black woman in business, to be a solo entrepreneur, share resources, point you in the direction of your next grant or grant funded opportunity like business training and development programs. Like, that is the bonus of staying consistent in grants. I don't know about y'all, but child, that excites me. I love it over here. So come join us. Go to blackwomeningrants.com, claim one of the scholarship spots that's currently available. There is a link for Afterpay and Klarna if you need it. My laptop is on the floor. So if you're there applying and need my help getting logged into the learning portal that comes after you apply, register, sign up, pay, invest the $97 to join us for a year, let me know if you need help getting into the learning portal, because I want to make sure you got everything you need to take your next steps in learning about these grants. So hopefully something that I've said has helped you guys, giving you some aha moments, got your wheels turning, got you thinking. Are there any questions about anything we talked about? Also, if you want to share any ahas or takeaways, I know we have big dreams, big goals, many reasons why we think we should apply for grants. But there's only a few right answers to applying for grants. So if you've ever applied and didn't win it, maybe you just needed a little bit more clarity on the reasons to apply for grants. And I shared the top 3 reasons with you guys. And if you need a recap, now's the time to put recap in the chat. I'm happy to do that as well. What questions can I answer for you? I know sometimes TikTok is on a little delay, so I try to give it time. But if there's nothing else, we can wrap it up. If you have questions about the mentorship, let me know. I'm glad you guys are here having this conversation today. Of all days, today is the best day to do that. Ask me why. Because it's today. A day that ends in Y, That's all. Let me look. I'm going back through old comments, making sure I didn't miss anyone. Making sure I answered the questions that have been asked previously. But again, if you have a question, now is the time to ask before we go. Okay, we answered that one. Oh, Kim Ancestral, I was answering your question earlier about live pitches. You said it makes you nervous. I remember I took a 7-week class about pitching, and that was my answer to my coach. She went around the room and she asked, how do we feel about pitching? I was like, I feel like throwing up a little bit. That's how I feel. So 7 weeks later, I won the pitch competition at the end of our class and got $500 from that small business pitch competition. So it's worth it to work through your nerves. And the nerves only happened for me. The nerves only came because I needed to be educated as to what goes into a pitch, a winning pitch. The ironic part was I didn't learn that in that class. I learned it by stepping outside of the class, finding some live pitches, sitting there taking notes for 2 hours, 2 pages front and back, implementing those notes into my pitch. And that's how I won that small business pitch competition. I no longer wanted to throw up. I went from throwing up to crying because I won. So hopefully that sheds a little light on what to do with those nerves. For me, it's handled with education. I'm great at selling anything, including myself and my skills and my business, my services, when I'm very well educated about the process. What are the expectations? Give me the outline. What are you looking for this to do? And then I can go into it and sell it. And that's what I did. It surprised me too. I'm like, wow, what difference education makes, regardless of how long it takes you to learn the information. Getting educated and applying the information. That's what did it for me. I was like, let's do it again. I haven't yet, but I have won 2 small business pitch competitions and it makes me excited. So I've done one with the previously recorded video, which I love. That was easier because I could take all the time I needed and do my takes and retakes and taking breaks and finally get it together. And I won $1,500 off of that. Or was that no, that was a $750 one. And then I did the live one and won $500. So collectively I won $1,200 and went from puking to crying and excited, smiling, So those emotions, they could change. What the Bible say, don't trust your heart. Like, it's always changing and you can't, it's not stable. So just go with the flow. That's how I think of it. And then you get the tips in the book, the Finding Funding ebook, that just tells you, like I said, the template, the layout of what should be in these pitches. This is stuff that I've learned on my own from doing so many now, of like prepping and starting and, all that good stuff. So, okay, Malama needs a recap. I got you. And Kim says, like, you are in front of people talking, that's a different level. You know what's a different level? Because now that you say that, I've done the previously recorded small business pitch competition. I've done the live virtual small business pitch competition. And then I coached one of our mentees, Eartha, to do a live in front of a studio audience. She pitched at it's an arena that holds 16,000 people here in Atlanta. That day, they were in a certain portion of the arena, so a couple hundred people showed up. She pitched for 60 seconds and won $250. And she called me, was like, let's do it again. So that was a lot of fun. So I have not done that yet. I have been a part of the audience of opportunities like that, but I have not pitched like that yet. And you got to make sure that what you do and what you're pitching for is good for an audience like that. So I'm happy to say that one of the pitches I've won, I know they had a panel of all Black women. And it was really cool because I pitched for one of my other businesses, which is certifying Black Christian women to become life coaches. And so I know they were Black. I know at least a few of them love Jesus. I don't know everybody's religion, but that gave me a leg up. So these were Black women, aka my target audience, and they understood the vision. So even with the competitions, you have to do your research behind even the reasons to pitch. So that was the one that was previously recorded that I won. And then the second one that was live virtual, as I mentioned, I did it because it was a part of the class. But if I would have just had to come off the street and pitch, I probably would not have done it, not knowing the dynamics of the actual program that was putting it on. So it helps to do your research behind small business pitch competitions, grants, business training and development programs. See who is on the judging board. See who the panel is, because it doesn't make sense for me to come in trying to convince you that this is a real business. It works. We're successful. You should give us money if you don't have any experience with what I'm doing. If you're not a Black woman, why am I pitching to a panel full of white men? They don't know what it's like to be a Black woman in business, So that's going to change even the dynamics of your presentation. If you have to sit and educate, that takes up time in your presentation as well. So one of the programs we partnered with has a whole training on pitch deck creation, making sure that you have like the basic components. But then when you go into your research on who's behind the competitions, even more of what to add. So for Eartha, our mentee, she pitched, and she's a nurse that helps revive babies who were born not breathing. And so, at least one person on that panel is a mom or has a child in some capacity. So even if you don't win over the whole panel, which was her thing, it was one guy on there that she felt like she couldn't convince or win over. And I'm like, but you got everybody else. You won them. That's what matters. And this was her first time pitching in front of hundreds of people live, standing in line with people who did this professionally all over the world, and she beat them. So when you look at outcomes like that, it makes it worth it, right? To study your market, to study the panel, and to adjust your presentation accordingly. So hopefully that Makes sense. So just as a recap of what we talked about today, we started out talking about the three things that you need to hold on to after you win your grant, which is your congratulations email, a copy of your grant winning application answers, hello, and your grant check. Take a picture, save it, get a copy. Then we talked about social impact, helping to improve your community impact, having a positive change on things like health, education, environment, economic development, equality, making sure you have that secret ingredient in your grant application sauce. And then we broke down the three reasons plus the bonus as far as results to expect of winning a grant, which is if you need help improving or upgrading your work from home environment or your work environment, or your product and service. It's going to help you ultimately sell better, make more money, and help more people. Another reason for applying for grants, which is to strengthen your financial stability, not dependent on it to pay all your bills every month all the time, but if you want to take it and multiply your results on that investment, the return on that investment, like you want to hire staff or bring your cell phone part-time, full-time, etc., get y'all some health care benefits, etc., expand your team, give an intern a shot. All of this is going to increase your options for giving back, in a sense, if you will. And then finally, we talked about how grants can help you expand the work that you've already done to get your business out there, to market it, to reach more people, to grow your team, to grow your efforts. In addition to the bonus of improving your network, having access to a more supportive network behind the grant that comes with like coaches and trainers and mentors and accountability partners, etc. So that's a recap of what we talked about today. Hopefully something that I've shared with you is resonating, bringing ahas and ideas. And if you have questions, I'll give you guys a final opportunity to ask me any questions about what we talked about tonight. And then over at blackwomeningrants.com, we have 2 open scholarship spots to come join us in our program that's usually $997 as of today for the full year, but you can get in for only $97. One-time payment, year-long access to our mentorship program that's full of things like my Finding Funding ebook with how to find and secure debt-free non-traditional funding for your Black woman-owned small business using my 25 secrets that have won me over $63,000 in grants and grant funded opportunities. And as of today, collectively, we've all won in Black Women in Grants $178,000 in grants and grant funded opportunities. It's really, really exciting to see our community grow. We have 278 of you guys there with us, and we have the 2 open scholarships that'll give you access to our learning portal and our replays of our trainings and events and boot camps that we've done, master classes that all shed light on what grants are, what they're not, what they cover, what to look for, what to look out for, what to look forward to. It's really exciting. I'm about to add this book you guys see on the screen, The Grant Game. That's one of our latest books. We're going to add it to the program as another part of our core curriculum for teaching about grants. So visit blackwomeningrants.com to get more information about the scholarships, claiming a spot, joining us today. And if you have questions, as Kim Ancestry can tell you, I'm available by email to our mentees. Ask your questions away. As long as it's about the program, as long as it's about grants, I'm happy to chat. I'm here, and then I'm here with you guys 3 times a week on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, right here on TikTok, Black Women in Grants channel, and Ara. We have almost 200 episodes that I've done being right here with y'all 3 times a week for the last year. And you get a replay playlist to all of those episodes. You can start from 1, listen every day, and maybe be finished by the end of the year. I don't know. Depending on how fast you listen to them. Okay? Any other questions, final questions, ahas, or takeaways from our chat today? I just did a quick recap. If anything popped in your head you want to talk about, let me know. I'm happy to hang out. If not, I'm good for the day. This is live number 2. I took a nap. I really should be either doing laundry or loading the dishwasher. I feel like I say that so much, but it's always needed. So, I also need to go for my evening walk. So, now's the time to put any question out there that you have. If not, I'll see y'all again really, really soon. Thank y'all for being here. Thank you for hanging out. If you have a question, you got 10 seconds to put wait. If not, we're going to go. Again, I'm Dr. A.J. Austin, creator of this space right here at Black Women in Grants. Make sure you follow this page and turn your notifications on so you know when we're live, because I do go live regularly, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But I also do pop-ups like this. I love a good training on a Saturday. It just does something for me. So here we are. Okay, so I don't see any extra questions. Y'all have a phenomenal rest of your day, and I'll see y'all soon. God bless. Bye, future grant winners.